Hey everyone, it's Suzi here, and today we're playing King Arthur Legends Rise. For today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a dungeon basics guide, going over information on how to beat Burning Land Gorgos. Alright, so Gorgos, he is here in the restricted area, power-up dungeon, the Golden Hero power-up materials. This one is really cool. I like this boss. It's really interesting. He inflicts Scorch on heroes and can detonate DOT effects to heal significant damage. Without skills that remove damage over time, heroes can quickly succumb to damage. Gorgos has a very high HP, so you must wear it down over time with DOT attacks. So he does damage over time, and you need to do it to him is the whole key. I love the in-game information alone. This is really wonderful. So people that inflict damage over time, coincidentally, I actually just pulled this guy, spoiler alert, for one of my summoning videos to come. So I'm quite excited for that. But anyway, let's go into a little bit of a basic guide. You can see which heroes people are using the most for this dungeon. Gillian is, of course, like the best healer, so to speak. And Isolde is like her lesser version, I guess. And yeah, just literally the people we talked about. So it makes sense. This is the core of what people are using. And I'm going to probably get to use similar. I haven't got to use Lancelot yet myself, but let's actually click this here. I'm only on 6 because I'm only... Actually, this is the cool part. So level 47, right? They do have suggestions for like what levels you should be to beat things. And this one had told me, you know, like you can't beat it with lower levels. But I only had all my characters below level 40 when I beat the Burning Lands 5, which is a level 47 boss. Couldn't quite do the Burning Lands 6 yet, but that's okay. So again, there's the information there. Also, when you click the little icon here, you can see all of the boss's skills in details. So again, he does damage over time. He does a damage over time explosion. And he also cleanses himself of damage over time, so you have to be careful about that. If you're manualing, you're obviously going to be aware of this skill. Wait till he does it before you place your next set of debuffs, or damage over time buffs in this case. So let's actually go ahead. Also, just quick note, it is day and heat for this boss fight, so that does have influence on some of those heroes. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the guide now. I really love these guides. I think they did a really good job again. So let's take a look here. Burning Land, Gorgos. So this is another CM Tips infographic, so I'm going to read through it. So the summary is where you obtain gold required to power up heroes and general gameplay, and experience potions you get in the dungeon as well. Include heroes that can inflict damage over time to counter Gorgos and his high HP. And remove damage over time to ensure smoother battle, aka you don't die. The second power-up dungeon, Burning Land. So this is the second one that shows up like they show. Burning Land is a power-up dungeon where you can obtain gold and XP. Clearing this dungeon is also a requirement to unlock other hero power content that demands golds. So the boss's skill here, the passive, at the start of the battle gains abnormal status immunity. Attack gauge decrease immunity for the rest of the battle. So in the last video I talked about, I was surprised that it was okay to reduce the turn meter of the boss, aka the attack gauge. So this is a boss you cannot do that for. So attack gauge decrease does not help. So that's definitely something we need to be aware of, because you might think you can do it because you can do it for the pig, the wild boar. You can't do it for this one. And also that afflicts damage over time, take an increase and wrathful ire on self. So he actually hurts himself. He takes more damage from damage over time. He puts a bad buff on himself. Skills cannot inflict abnormal status effects, yada yada yada, obviously. And wrathful ire applies rage after 20 turns. Okay. All right, Burning Land's boss, Gorgos, is a powerful and challenging boss to take down, due to not only high HP, but his ability to inflict damage over time. Along with abnormal status immunity and attack gauge decrease immunity, Gorgos has damage over time taken increase of 35%. Effect applies at all times and is prone to inflict damage over time that is proportional to the max HP. So in order to counter Gorgos, it's important to have remove damage over time effect applied so you can withstand and heavily inflict damage over time attacks. So the recommended default budget team here is an all-rare team of Anguish, Isolde, Razier, and Bodwin. So use Anguish and Isolde's Chill, and Razier Bleed. Razier? Razier? That's like French or something, right? I don't know. To inflict. All right. Yeah. So she's obviously a bleed hero. You wouldn't guess by the blood all over her, right? Yeah. And then protection from Bodwin. Seen him suggested a couple times actually. And then there's also this recommended attack-based focus team here with Urian's added in, and he brings the counterattack. So recommended team default consists of excluding any defense hero and focusing Urian's counterattack. They mean attack. They have a typo. The recommended team attack is excluding a defense hero and adding in counterattack instead, which helps them apply the damage over time extra attempts if it's on their basic skill. All right, and recommended advanced team would be Lancelot, Ian, Isolde, and Anguish. So I forgot how to say her name properly. I'm sorry. The second name, I need to Google how to say that and listen to it so I don't butcher it anymore. Add Lancelot for burn and environmental effect, rain, and chivalry pledge for an even stronger inflict damage over time effect. All right. I like that. And ensure more stability by taking advantage of Ian's counterattack and offering a better defense against inflicted damage over time with this team. I'm really excited that I have Lancelot. I just pulled him, and that's just going to be a really fun one. And then another advanced team that's a little bit harder to put together, more legendaries, also adds Gawain. So let's see here. While recommended team for like advanced and default was based on removing damage over time and counterattack, the uncommon variant replaces the rare hero Anguish for the legendary Gawain to focus the burn effect, inflicting damage over time, and Burning Land's environment effect, heat, for a team with even more firepower. I love the elemental stuff. It's just so clever. And then here, bonus tip, Gorgos is a flame element, and environmental effects day and heat are applied to the Burning Land. So obviously flame, you want to have the, red, in this game, blue beats red, red beats green. It's kind of like the opposite if you play Raid Shadow Legends. So paying attention to your elemental affinity is really important. All right, and then inflict damage over time include burn, chill, bleed, shock, and poison, scorch, and lightning strike. And the dungeon is unlocked after the battle on Chapter 3, main story 3-7 in normal difficulty. So I'm going to let this little clip play out here for a quick battle. I'm going to put it on, this is not my team. We're just going to play the one here. And in the future, don't worry. Obviously, I'm just doing this basics guide as something fun to show you guys, right? So it's something fun to talk about and to still make sure we're very aware of the basics. And I feel like, honestly, the more we read through the kits in this sort of like a guide, the more it sticks in your brain, right? You're more like, oh, right. I should try that one character that they keep mentioning. Why not? This is a really important dungeon, though. It allows you to farm the experience potions faster to level up everybody. So I'm trying to get better with this. So pulling Lancelot is, I think, huge for my account now. I love the extra, like, rage visual that they have. So they're not, you can see, they're just straight attacking the boss and they're ignoring the arms in this battle. And that is something you can do in your settings. You can just click the settings and adjust your, like, preset. It's kind of like presets, but not really. But you could say prioritize attacking the boss, like, especially when you're setting up, like, your multi-battles. You can say that as well. It's really helpful. So they're just completely ignoring the arms in this battle. That's really interesting. I wouldn't have even thought of that. Usually I'm trying to take out the other things first. Is that the way to go? I mean, it is the video they're suggesting on their official website. Does it always mean it's the best way? No. We've learned that from other games that the in-game advice is not always the best, so to speak. I feel like the players come up with more creative things anyway. But they know their game, you hope. You hope they know their game. And yeah, that was the little teaser. Okay. Yeah, this was my team that I was working with, but now that this is so sad, I literally, before this video, before I did my summons also, I just put this lovely creepy man up to 4-star and wasted resources when really I need to get our new friend Lancelot going instead. Ugh. That's brutal. That is brutal. Wasted resources. I mean, to be fair, can I still use him? Maybe. But isn't Lancelot just gonna be so much better? I think so. Definitely gonna have to play with it. Maybe instead of Merlin, I just use... maybe I use Lancelot and him. Like, all the damage over time. Really stacked up high. Although, Merlin does too. This is gonna be interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of people to play with, and it's gonna be fun to experiment. I'm really starting to enjoy the game now. At first, I wasn't too sure. But now, as you dive in deeper and things start to get hard, you have to start troubleshooting. It's definitely becoming more interesting, more fun. And the graphics are slowly growing on me, I guess. I don't know. All right, guys, let me know what you think about the Burning Land. What is your best team so far? Let us know in the comments so we could help out everybody learning. And I will see you in the next video.